Bill O'Reilly really does live in his own crazy right-wing bubble. He made it into the zone last night for claiming that nobody on Fox News said people would go to jail if they didn't buy health insurance. O'Reilly said that to Senator Tom Coburn, who had called out Fox for its bias on that issue. I'm not usually on the same side of Senator Coburn, a righty from Oklahoma, but on this one I am. O'Reilly was flat out wrong, and yesterday we showed you video evidence of that, but it's not only liberals like me pointing it out. How about Neil Cavuto on his own network?
Something that you at Fox have gotten into a little brouhaha about. I noticed you were with my friend Bill O'Reilly on this very issue, and that is whether you were saying Fox alone incited false information, saying that those who did not buy health insurance were going to be thrown in jails. Now, you're quite right, and I've researched this. A number of Fox personalities had made that comment.
Even after someone on his own network refuted his bogus claim, O'Reilly still stuck with his lie on his show last night, insisting that Coburn was wrong.
The senator from Oklahoma, if people missed it last night, had criticized Fox News about certain things and didn't really have his facts in line.
No, you wouldn't do that, would you, Bill? Let me bring in Eric Burns, Media Matters of America, with us here on the Ed Show tonight. Does this happen a lot? Does Fox do this a lot?
They do it all the time, Ed. This is actually generally how they do their programming. Just in this case alone, with of course Bill O'Reilly denying that Fox was wrong, denying that Fox was suggesting that Americans are going to be put in jail for not getting health care insurance, which of course is a lie. We looked and found at least 11 different instances on Fox News where a host or one of the contributors said that, and it's spread across the breadth of the entire network, from Fox and Friends in the morning to Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity in the evening in prime time to the website. So I think the real takeaway here is not only is it the fact that Bill O'Reilly is lying about the fact that he got caught lying, and I think he'd rather continue lying to his viewers than admit he made a mistake. And
we should be clear here that Senator Coburn didn't mention any other news sources. This came, news resources and sources. This came from his town hall meeting when he was asked from somebody about having to buy health insurance or you're going to go to jail, and his answer was, no, that's a Fox News thing.
Yes, that's correct. And then his justification later was that it was a conservative audience that listens to Fox News. And even he acknowledged, as you saw in the clip, that every news organization, as he says, has their bias. But I don't think this is about bias. It's not about ideology. It's not about a slip of the tongue that often happens with any good journalist. This is about a systematic decision, an intentional and deliberate decision by the executive staff at Fox News to lie to their viewers and to the American people about what was in their health care reform bill. And they did it to scare them. It's
getting people to believe what they want them to believe. It's not the news in many cases. And a classic example today is Saxby Chambliss. A senator from Georgia goes up in front of a Tea Party crowd and says they're going to have to hire 16,000 IRS agents. That's a Fox News bullet point. It simply is not true. The head of the IRS says it's not true. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right, Ed. And we saw the same thing with the death panel smears. We saw the same thing with the right-wing media and Fox's attempts to lie about whether or not there was federal funding for abortion in the health care bill. And just in the last 14 months, Media Matters alone, we have released 250 pieces of research documenting lies and smears just on the debate over health care alone. So, there's really no way that in 11 different instances, multiple hosts across the network were all telling the same lie, telling folks that their members of their family were going to go to jail if they did not get health insurance, without it being a deliberate and intentional decision. And I would suggest that that's not news. In fact, it's antithetical to everything journalism stands for. It's propaganda.
And more Frank Luntz material going to the Republican Party on Wall Street reform and legislation. They're now calling it a permanent bailout. So you should have plenty of tape on that coming up.
I'm sure we will.
Eric, good to have you with us tonight.